number one skill in R6 isn't aim, it's not map control, it's not even strategy itself. If you're like most players and you're stuck in your rank, a lot of it comes down to outside factors that are out of your control. Your teammates are simply garbage, the rank system puts you up against way harder opponents, or you're simply getting tilted by constant bad luck.
That's actually like so unfortunate. Like,
this is my fucking life now, man.
And I know how you feel, because these very things happen to me at the highest rank in the game. But the truth is, this blame game we're playing is actually the number one factor that's holding us back from improving. In that moment, it feels so much better to say, my entire team is horrible, they just run in and die every round and there's nothing I can do. But by mastering the number one champion skill of a bulletproof mindset, we can take this situation and turn it into a learning opportunity for ourselves to become even better at the game. The second we shift our focus from things out of our control to what's in our control, we avoid the mental trap of stagnation and become stronger players because of it. So the question is, how do we actually make that shift? How do we train our brains to stop blaming our teammates and start identifying the opportunities for our own growth? This is where we get into the real secret that all high-level players understand. They waste zero mental energy on things outside of their control. It's a skill that I'll show you how to develop in this video, and it's by no means a new thing. It actually comes from a 2,000-year-old philosophy called Stoicism, which was practiced by some of the greatest leaders in history. Stoics built their entire mindset around one simple concept, the dichotomy of control. Basically, you just take any situation and break it down into two categories, things you can control and things you can't. Then you dedicate 100% of your energy and focus on the first list. The second list we just accept as is and don't waste our efforts on trying to change it. There's nothing you can do about it, and that's okay, we just move on. By keeping all of our attention on the first list, what we can control, we are actively strengthening our minds to seek opportunity, to seek growth, and seek potential. Having a mindset where we can't do anything about our circumstances dooms us to living out that reality, causing stagnation and keeping us stuck. It's how you shift your mind from blaming the game for your rank to building the skills that make your rank inevitable. So instead of looking at your team and saying, horrible, dying instantly, nothing I can do, we could firstly understand that their gameplay is just something that's out of our control. Then you ask yourself, what can I actually do about it? Can I genuinely 1v5 the other team, or can I help my teammates succeed somehow? Well, if my team is running in and dying right away, I can try to help them by bringing Finka, Lion, or getting up and aggressive with them and getting their trades. All of a sudden, a useless team has become the perfect bait for you to gain space insanely quickly and start evening the odds. And that right there is the secret in action. Getting a perfect team is not gonna happen. You will rarely get 5 players who communicate flawlessly and agree on a single strategy because everyone has their own philosophy on how to play. Wasting your mental energy wishing they'd play differently is a guaranteed way to lose. That's why you have to become the player who solves the problems a messy team creates. This is the skill high-level players have mastered. They've trained themselves to waste zero energy on what they can't change and focus entirely on the one thing they can, figuring out how to win with the circumstances they're in. The other downside of focusing on the things you can't control is that it directly affects your mood. Watching horrible teammates and seeing just how bad they are is a great way to completely lose your mind, spiraling out of control and destroying your mental game. Because the truth is, tilt makes you play like ass. Tilting is the difference between taking those bad teammates and making it work to thinking you're the only person with a brain and making the stupidest plays of your life in hopes of killing the entire enemy team. It makes you just as bad as everyone you're complaining about. The secret here is that thoughts create feelings. Thinking my teammate is an idiot creates the feeling of anger. That feeling then makes you look for more evidence that your teammate is an idiot, and that's the start of the tilt spiral. Most of us are really just little crybaby rage monsters, especially when it comes to video games. My solution to this, and what some of the best players in the game do, is stop the initial feelings of rage before they even begin. There is no cycle if it doesn't start. Now, this isn't an easy task, and it will take some practice to develop, especially if you're already in the habit of raging every game. So how do we do this? The first practical skill is to adopt a mindset of proactive positivity. And no, this isn't an episode of Barney, okay? The truth is your attitude is a performance enhancing or performance destroying drug. By thinking positively and having a hopeful attitude, you will boost both you and your teammates' gameplay for the better. Think about it. If you see a teammate mess up and have a genuine compassion and hopeful attitude, it will benefit both you and him. Firstly, you'll play better following it because you're not getting tilted, and you'll still see your teammate as a valuable player instead of a complete bot. And if you let him know that it's okay with a simple, "Nice try man, all good," he won't feel as bad for losing and will play better next round. By literally just not being an asshole, everyone plays better and has more fun. I'm gonna be honest here for a second. There's been times where I've been so tilted by a toxic teammate that I've literally thought to myself, I would rather lose this game than let this guy win. If you've ever felt that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's how destructive tilt is. So remember the benefits. A disciplined mindset leads to more confidence, better teamwork, and sharper focus. And that leads to my final practical rule for emotional discipline. Don't be the asshole. And if someone on your team is being the asshole, just mute them. Your sanity is not worth putting up with their terrible attitude, especially considering their callouts were probably garbage too. Between this radical accountability and positive attitude, your R6 game will instantly improve. You can quite literally implement these techniques into your game tonight. But if you want to ensure that you're a better player next week, next month, and next season, you need the final piece of a bulletproof mentality: active learning. Ew, did I really just say that? How am I supposed to appeal to the TikTok kids when I say stuff like active learning? You see, this is why my channel's dying, man. Please, like, comment, and subscribe so I don't have to get a real job. I'm begging you. As cringe as it sounds, active learning is the most important skill to avoid stagnation. This is what separates the champion mindset from everyone else's. Champions live by the golden rule we all know and love. It's not losing, it's learning. The stuff that is ugly, the rounds that are horrible, and the times when you get 4-0'd. This is where the real learning happens. But it's not only learning from your mistakes, it's learning from the rounds you won as well. Just because you won doesn't mean you played well, it might just mean the other team blundered even harder. This is why going into every single round with a curious mindset is extremely important. After a win, you can ask yourself, could I have played that better? Is there anything the enemies could have done to win that round? And when you lose, ask what went wrong, how you could have supported your team more, or if you could have positioned yourself better. There's a massive difference between passive learning and active learning. Passively playing the game for 8 hours is much less valuable for your improvement as a player than playing for 1 hour and spending 20 minutes going back through and reviewing a bad game. And honestly, this is the stuff that separates the great players from the average ones. It's the boring work done after the game that builds champions. This means going into your match reviews and facing the unfiltered disgust of your own gameplay. It's about slowing down, pausing, and asking the hard questions to figure out exactly why you suck, so you can finally stop doing those things and get better. This requires a strong will and a humility that's not easily achieved, but it will yield the best results for you as a player. And it's not just about watching yourself. Watching pro players and asking questions is an amazing tool for improving. We gotta stop watching Pro League just for the cool flicks, guys. Ask, why did they rotate there? Why did they use that utility at that specific time? What information did they have that I missed? That's how you learn real strategy that wins games. From this perspective, the losses don't become personal, they become opportunities. The wins don't become forced and celebrated, they're just part of the result of your effort. And as you get better, your rank will too. Remember, your skill will always be ahead of your rank. You just need to give your rank some time to catch up. One final thought here. Building a bulletproof mindset is a practice, not a destination. You'll still have moments of frustration. You'll still catch yourself blaming a teammate. The goal isn't to become this perfect, emotionless robot. The goal is progress. It's about shortening the duration of that tilt from an entire game to 1 round to just a few seconds. That's what winning the mental game looks like in reality. Now you can see how it all connects. Radical accountability gives you the power to focus on your own gameplay. Emotional discipline gives you the clarity to do it without anger. And active learning is the system you use to turn those insights into real improvement. It's a powerful feedback loop that guarantees growth. I've thrown a lot of information at you today, and changing your mindset doesn't happen overnight, so I'm going to leave you with one simple challenge. For your next 5 ranked games, I don't care if you win or lose, I don't care about your KD. Your only mission is this. Every single time you die, take a deep breath and ask yourself this question. What is one thing I could have done differently this round? That's it. Just build that one habit. Ask that one question. It's the first step to rewiring your brain, and it's the foundation of a truly bulletproof mindset. Thanks for watching. Now go get to work.